I do want to ask you about the government's response, and it ties into congressional responsibility here to the devastation in Puerto Rico from Hurricane Maria. Even though even though this sounds technical, it's become a very big issue. The Jones Act. It's a long-standing law, of course, that allows only U.S. ships to transport goods within the United States. After Hurricane Irma and Harvey, the government waived the act and the requirements and the restrictions there, making it cheaper and faster to get help to victims after those hurricanes. As far as we know, the Department of Homeland Security says that they have not received a request to do the same for Puerto Rico, meaning it hasn't been done. Do you know why?
Well, in general, the response to Puerto Rico has not been as fast as it should be. It was not as fast, quite frankly. It was not as intense as the response to Texas, to Florida. And that's very, very disturbing because, of course, Puerto Rico is an isolated island, and actually the damage to the power grid, to the people there, I think is actually in the long run more dangerous than what we saw in Florida and in Texas. Look, the Jones Act is a very complicated piece of legislation, but it must be suspended now for a limited period of time, because if we don't do that, there could be a British-built or a Chinese-built ship full of food, full of relief supplies that will be prohibited by law from landing at Puerto Rico. And that, forget about the complexities of the Jones Act. That, from a humanitarian standpoint, is outrageous. So it is time to really ramp up the intensity and the focus, both on the part of the military. The military has aviation assets and other assets that could be really alleviating the situation in Puerto Rico. It was too late, but finally the hospital ship that the United States Navy or the United States military maintains is on its way. The response to date has not been intense, specific, or focused enough.
Well, we'll see exactly. There's a lot of confusion around the Jones Act, especially today, even explaining what it is. Quite frankly, we'll get into it a little later in the show. Congressman, it's always great to have you on. Thank you.